Hey lovelies, you're welcome to yet another episode of Girls Closet. And guess what? This one is special in particular because we have a distinguished guest in the house. No other than presidential candidate 2019, Mrs. Eunice Atuejide.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be amongst you today. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so obviously you've seen this known faces and this known face again to it. So you know what, let's just have this brief profiling of her and then we'll get back to the main issues. Alright, so Eunice Atuejide is the founder and party leader of the duly registered National Interest Party, NIP, a technology-driven political party designed to conduct all intra-party elections, congresses and party primaries online. And to go further, Barrister Eunice, she's a solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, a solicitor of England and Wales, an international arbitrator, a management consultant, and an entrepreneur, most importantly. She hails from Enugu and is a proud mother of 5.
Yeah.
Exactly. That leaves us like, whoa. Yes, you can say that again. She's a woman of diverse languages. Eunice speaks fluent Igbo, Yoruba, German, and English language. She has a working knowledge of French language and is now learning Hausa and Spanish. I wonder what next is going to happen after that.
Maybe Mandarin.
She has visited at least 76 countries in over 130 cities in the world. She holds a black belt in Taekwondo and still trains to keep fit.
Exactly.
Alright, lastly, Miss Eunice is all and a passionate Nigerian with unwavering faith in the country and its people. It is for this reason that Miss Eunice offers herself to be elected President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2019. That was simple, short, and classic.
Thank you.
Once again, you're welcome to the show, Ma.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and before we go further, I'd like to introduce the ladies in the house, of course. We've met them before. This is Miss Funke.
Hello, Funke. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure, Ma.
And this is Mrs. Biola.
Biola, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Okay, and then I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Benny.
Hi, Benny.
Nice to meet you. So we're going to be kicking off with a big question. As a woman, taking off the role of Buhari, that is taking off the role of the president's seat. How did that happen? What came about? How did that come about and what is the drive?
Why do I want Buhari's seat? Because the guy is not performing now. Is that not enough reason to want his seat? Anyway, I want to be president. I want to be president in Nigeria because, I mean, when you look at our country from even before independence and after independence, we have not had the best of people leading us. We have not had great leaders, and what that has cost for us is an economy that we cannot be proud of, a system and people, and a miserable life, deaths. Every day you are hearing Benue State, we are burying people, people are killing each other in the churches, and you know, it's just too much, and I blame that on the quality of leadership we have. And then I've looked at myself and I said, okay, I have prepared for this position. I have actually taken the time to develop myself, whether in terms of career or in terms of work experience or family life. I've actually done a lot to put different kinds of experiences in myself, and then I want to now give it back and help the country start to recover from the pains of having bad leadership. So that's really the beginning and the end of the story. That's why I want to be president. I know I have what it takes to start healing this country, bring the people together that will help us get a government that would work for every one of us in Nigeria and those of us outside Nigeria as well.
Okay, just before I give it out to the ladies, you have about 4 contenders as women, females in the same race. You know, how does that make you feel? Like, are you threatened by it, or that makes you?
No, I'm not threatened at all. You have to understand that I am the founder and national chairman of National Interest Party, and we have our convention Monday, 20th of August, and we don't have anybody contending against me. I'm literally going to come out an unopposed presidential candidate, and that's just a week to go. Now, Elishama Ide is with Durotoye in ANN. She may not come out. Princess Fumilayo Adesoya Davis is in PDP. I don't see her coming out at all. There's no chance. Then there's Mrs. Remy Shonaya, and she's in Kowa, where we have 3 men that are contesting for the same presidency with her. It's highly unlikely that she would emerge, but I do hope she does. At least she's done it before, and she may already have better experience doing it. So she would be, I don't know, if she plays the game well, she'll probably be able to come out. But in my case, there's nobody opposing me. So I am the only female that is guaranteed to be at the presidential race in 2019 as we speak.
Okay, the word guaranteed we take note of. So, over to you, Funke.
Okay, I'll take from where you stopped.
Yeah.
You said you're the only female candidate guaranteed to be in the race. But the issue here is, being in the race is not enough until you get to that position, you get there. So are you not intimidated or any challenges on your way from, like, you're not part of any existing political party? Not, you know, Nigeria, we have existing in the sense that it is
an existing political party. It is. And I am the founder and I'm the national chairman. So what are you talking about?
Okay, existing in the sense that not the normal, like the popular political party we know in Nigeria, which is the All Progressive Congress, APC, and PDP. Like, you're not coming out from either of the 2 parties. So what do you think is your chance?
Okay.
And it's not about running the race, it's about getting there. So what do you think is your chance?
Okay, now, National Interest Party, NIP, is a member of the CUPP, which is the coalition of united political parties. And this is a coalition of 41 associations and political parties. So we have about 38 political parties and 3 non-political party groups in the same group, the coalition of united parties. Okay. And now we are going to present only 1 consensus candidate. And after you emerge from your party, which I will obviously emerge from NIP, I am going into a second primaries within the CUPP. Okay. My job now is to make sure that I beat all the guys in CUPP. And once I have floored all the guys in CUPP, everybody in CUPP with all their powerful structures and all their money, they are going to be backing me to the presidency. And that's how I will become the president in 2019. It's just strategy.
Hopefully.
I wish I could say guaranteed, but let me leave it as hopefully.
Okay, I guess we're passing it to Biola.
And the thing is, she sounded like sure, and she said, I want to beat those guys.
But I have to beat them. I mean, no, seriously. When you look in terms of exposure, when you look in terms of understanding the problems of Nigeria and actually having true, real solutions to them, when you look in terms of integrity, you cannot call any EFCC on my case now. You cannot come and be disturbing my presidency because of EFCC or one ICPC nonsense things. I don't have all those problems. So the people I'm going to bring into the center to work for me, or work with me rather, are likely going to be people like me who EFCC cannot do anything to. If we have those kind of Nigerians leading the way, our journey is even freer than, who is that? China. Forget about them. 10 years from now will be world power. That's what we really need in Nigeria. Get quality Nigerians with clean records in front of, and the rest of us will follow and will do great things in this country.
Okay, let me give it to Biela if I can.
I think I'll be very brief with this. What does National Interest Party represent?
National Interest Party is that party where the average Nigerian who has lived a clean life can come to and confidently run for office without favoritism. We don't have any godfatherism complex. Everybody in National Interest Party is equal. And the way we do our primaries, it's the direct primary system we use. So we don't have delegate system. If you join National Interest Party today and we have elections tomorrow, I can vote, you can vote. Everybody can vote. So there's no way you will come now and then we will select some people and somebody will bribe them and buy their vote. We are just totally transparent, very free. Our nominations forms are free. The only thing you ever pay for a National Interest Party is for screening. And right now it's just 300K. So whatever position, presidency, governor, House of Assembly, Senate, whatever you want to run for, the only money you have to look for is 300,000 to get screened. And after screening, you pass screening, you get your ticket. Unless you have many people in your area that are contesting too. And what we encourage our members to do is to discuss it amongst themselves, trying to do a gentleman kind of agreement amongst themselves. We look at your quality, we look at the quality of the other person. If you think the other person is better, then you say, okay, go, let me support you. But if both of you feel you are equal, that nobody should let go for the other person, then we do a primary for you. Every member will vote, and the person with the highest vote gets the ticket. So that's one thing we are offering in Nigeria. Whether you're a man, woman, young, old, it doesn't matter. All we're asking is that you do not have a bad record. There are conditions in the Constitution that tells you what exempts you from running for public office. We follow those rules. No bankruptcies, no involvement with fraud, no dishonest behavior, no convictions, criminal convictions. Well, we follow those things, and if we check you against those things, you are fine. You get our ticket.
Okay, well, let me quickly add this up that talking about Nigerian election politics, I want to ask the question, like, as Nigeria, as a citizen, do we have the right political attitude? If yes or no, and at what point have we lost or gained that attitude?
Political attitude. My dear, I cannot be judging Nigerians generally. We are just too many Nigerians. Some are great Nigerians, some are medium, some are horrible. I can't put everybody in the same class. So political attitude is a subjective matter. Some of us do have the right attitude, some of us don't. Can we improve? Yes. Do we want to improve? I don't know. All I hope is that, as especially people like me come into the political arena, our people will start to think differently. We'll start to view our political landscape a little less strictly PDP, APC, the way we do, and start to open our minds to all the other possibilities that are there for us.
Okay, ma'am, can we take this attitude to the government aspect of it? Because now we're talking about the citizens. Now, do the government have the right political attitude, the ones we have so far?
Absolutely no. They do not have the right political attitude. They do not have the right any attitude, in short, because they do everything wrong as far as I'm concerned. But then it's actually because of the system they have encouraged. You know, we haven't had a government that came there to work for the people. We've had governments that come there to work for themselves, to service self-interest or interest of those that they feel they have to be biased for. We haven't had a government that has come to Nigeria to serve all of us and make sure that we all receive the dividends of democracy. And that's what we're missing. We need to put a government together that will truly be there to work for the people. And that's why I said, okay, the only way to do it is to go in there and actually do it. And the best place to do it from is as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, the issue, I think Nigerians outside are watching, they have the opinion that I think the problem we have in Nigeria is we think a particular political party would solve the problem. But I think that is where we got it wrong. I think it is not about the political party, it is about your person. It is about you coming into the government. That is why when you say, okay, this is in Nigeria for all, and the political party is NIP. It's like, it's one that we are not really familiar with. Okay, now and I think Nigeria out there, they are even tired of, say PDP, say APC. They are particularly concerned about you as a person. Okay, now you've brought a few things together in one sentence or a few sentences, but the important thing is you have to understand that it costs a lot of money to build the kind of structures that APC, PDP have managed to build over the years. So Nigerians know APC and PDP because they are literally everywhere. What we are doing at National Interest Party is trying to spend less but still get known everywhere. And it's one of the reasons we built a very digital political party. So everybody joins us online. All our elections are done online. I can sit in my living room and be in touch with everybody in all the 8,817 wards in Nigeria. Because at the end of the day, your structure is not how many offices you have. It is not how many cars you actually put on the road. It's actually about how many people are out there on your behalf and making the noise that needs to be made about you. So we do need money to mobilize these people. We do need money to ignite them, but we don't have it. But we are starting from where we can, and that's like to make sure that our website is working and our members are able to interact with each other within the website. And then once the money comes, you can mobilize them. Okay, this is your area. Make sure you get us 500 members here. Put XYZ in certain local government. Arrange and train the party agents that will work for us and protect our votes. By the time you're doing that in 8,817 local government area, you'll probably be more popular than PDP and APC. But it's a gradual process. We just registered in January, and we are like most of us, like you guys here, young people. I'm one of the oldest, and I'm not even 40 yet. So most of us don't even have jobs. We are like just piecing it together with the little we have, taking a lot of credit, selling our cars and houses and everything we can lay our hands, we sell, and then we use the money to try and develop the party. Hopefully
maybe when Nigerians start to see what we are doing, they will believe in what we are doing and they will start to support us. It doesn't even have to be with money. You can put billboards up for us, you can give us offices, you can do flyers and t-shirts. You don't have to necessarily bring cash if you are worried about whether you can trust the people or not. You can actually do things on our behalf. You know, okay, madam, this is the thing. If I say not true, say you serious about Nigeria, maybe we'll help you take that boss, I give them to you, no, I take and they do this campaign thing. Those are all ways that you can contribute to our vision, and it will be really highly appreciated. So we know that it's a tough process when there's no money, but tough or not, we're not giving up. We have started, and we are, every day we know that we are progressing, and we'll definitely get where we're going to. And where we're going to is to bring true democracy to Nigeria.
Okay, there we have it. Let's have a quick break and we'll be right back. Girls Closet. Alright guys, welcome people. We're back right now. How do we say welcome in one other language?
What language?
Okay.
No. In Igbo.
It's Spanish.
No. I have no idea.
German.
French.
God, people like that. Bienvenue in French.
Okay.
In German.
German.
Herzlichen Willkommen.
Wait.
I'm lost. That's on behalf of everybody.
Okay, exactly the point. Alright, okay.
Okay, I think from what we've had.
Bienvenido in French, in Spanish.
Okay, I think from what we've had, you own the first online political party. Yeah, I must commend you on that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like, that's inspiring.
Yeah.
The first of its kind in Nigeria to say, okay. Now, I was saying something the other time that it's not about a political party. Like most people will say, they said they voted Buhari, not because they wanted APC, but because they wanted the world change. So they were tired of that particular regime, so they went for Buhari. Now we are all tired of the PDP and the LPC because of the drama. We are all tired. So you get, now you tell us what you as a person, this is not even about your party, what you as a person you're bringing to the table, your plans and everything for Nigeria. It's not about a political party.
What I am bringing to the table that is unique is transparency and accountability, because we've never had that in Nigeria, and that is the crux of all our problems in this country. Our people are not accountable to us, and then they are not transparent about what's happening with our resources. We don't know, we actually don't really know how much we make, and we actually don't really know how much we spend. Forget all this budget thing they tell you every day. All of those are cooked up figures. We actually do not know how our country is doing, and that's because the government we have had up till now, from day one, not just the last one, but always, they are very, very interested in keeping the real information away from us so that they can have an easy way to steal what is the common resources of the whole people of Nigeria. So what I'm bringing to the table is a transparent government, a government that is highly accountable, that makes sure that the people can follow every revenue and also follow every expenditure. So money that is coming in, you know exactly where it's coming from, and as it is going out, you know exactly where it's going to. So even when you award contracts, you make it public who you awarded contracts to, how much the contracts were worth, what they were supposed to achieve with the contract funds, and then put it open for Nigerians to be able to follow. And then they'll follow, okay, they gave him 1 billion to build bridge. The bridge he has built is not up to 100 million, and then they can start asking questions. If you make it open for every Nigerian who is interested to be able to follow our money and find out exactly where it's coming from and where it's going to, people will not even confidently steal anymore. Talk less of all this looting that we have billion in somebody's under somebody's house. You will not have those kind of behavior, because every holes will be plugged. And then you are accountable to the people. You are able to, like, pick any area of the economy, any part of Nigeria, break down what is happening there, and then let the people be answerable. If you elect, I, for example, as president, you'll be able to reach me on Twitter, on Instagram, by email, any way you feel like, okay, this woman is not performing, let me go and tell her myself. You are able to. And then I will listen, I'll check what you're saying, and I'll look for ways to make amends. And then every other person that is in the government is also available and accessible to the people, so that whenever people are doing the wrong things, we're able to, like, put them back on track. We need that in Nigeria, because if we don't have that, all this one we are saying is just talks. We're not going to move forward. We need to be able to give this country an opportunity to start healing, and you can do that by making sure that everything is open. people who are working for the country should be able to answer to the country, okay, this is what you are doing, this is how we are doing it, this is what it's costing us, and this is how we are making sure that the money comes together.
Okay, believe me, we've had people tell us the same thing all the time, like the manifestos and all that. But, you know, I don't want to mention names or any particular government, but, you know, in this country, we've had regimes where the president is willing to help, but the people surrounded by him care otherwise.
Who chose the people surrounding him?
He did.
Good.
Okay.
That's it. You have to choose the right people because it's not just you. The president is only one person. He's listening to thousands of people and he's making decisions based on what those thousands of people are telling him. If you surround yourself with thousands of thieves, you're wasting your time as president. If you surround yourself with thousands of liars, good luck. Do you understand? But if you surround yourself with thousands of committed, patriotic Nigerians who are as desperate as you are to help this country move forward, that is the beginning of your success as a president. And that's what I'm going to be doing.
I just decided to chip in that so that it wouldn't be just you. Then you are showing us that even everyone that will working
it
with
can
you.
never be just you. If it's just you, your boss will not have this flip TV.
You know what I'm saying?
No, seriously.
You know what I'm saying? Just you in the sense that like you are not the only one that have this patriotism and all that like, committed.
There are
like,
millions of Nigerians who have that, but they are not the
working
ones in the center. They are not the ones that are called together to move the country forward. The people who are called together are the thieves, the ex-convicts, the ex-traffickers in human beings. There was one that they said was even actually still consistently trafficking humans, but already got a ticket to fly under the APC party. You see, no, it's not even as if they are they are currently criminals, but they are the ones in our parliament, they are the ones in our judiciary, they are the ones in our ministries, they are the ones taking care of our civil service. Remove those elements and replace with, at least in the top seats, replace with patriotic Nigerians, drawn from every part of this country, who are committed and experts in whatever field you are calling them to deal with. And then watch this country.
All right, just before we take this away from politics a bit, we're going to take it away to feminism, we're going to take it away to, you know, trending issues. But I just got one question I need to ask.
Yes.
Frequently asked questions, people have been asking, like, what are your political positions you've held before? Why not go for governorships, senatorial? Like, okay, what do you have to say about that?
I didn't prepare for those things. I didn't prepare to be local government chairman. I didn't prepare to be councillor. I didn't prepare to be senate. I didn't prepare to be governor. I didn't prepare to be, I only prepared for the presidency.
Coming out.
I absolutely took my time to look at all the things I can do for this country, the best way I can serve my country. And I saw that I can only do it very well from the center. Yeah. I'm not the kind of person you put in the corner and then, of course I can thrive there, but I know I'll be much more useful to this country from the center, and I prepared for that, and that's what I'm doing. So I don't have to go to the local government or the state, whatever, because that's not what my talent is. That's not what my skill sets are for. I have absolutely programmed my mind and my activities, my strategies, our teams. We've programmed ourselves to go for the presidency, and we know that we have adopted a strategy that will make it possible. So why do we have to throw that away because some people think you have to start small? Everybody is not meant to start small. Some of us are built to start from the very top.
To take the bull by the
Absolutely.
So Biola, I guess you've been having this kind of facial expression. Okay.
Ma.
Yes.
About popular media personality Tuke Makewa. There is this picture she shared on her Instagram page a few days ago, where she posts nude to sell her product, her brand. So, what length do you think a woman can go to promote her brand?
As a woman, right?
Yeah.
Whatever length your sense of value, whatever your personal acceptance is, I have no issues with you. I'm not the moralist kind of person that will come and impose my idea of right on you. We are all human beings and we all have different senses of right and wrong, and none of us is right and none of us is wrong. It's for you to look within yourself, look at whatever, if you are the God-fearing type, look at what you believe your God wants of you. If you are the atheist type, look at what you feel society expects of you. Judge yourself, and then whatever you are doing, be comfortable in it. I'm happy with you. I can never judge anybody because I'm sure there are places where you will see what I'll do and you're like, How can she behave like that? No, nobody is perfect and nobody knows it all. And that thing that works for you may not work for the next person. So she's going off naked. I won't go off naked, but if she's comfortable going off naked to sell her goods, wow, good. Yeah, for me, it's actually a very brave thing to do. How many of us like our bodies enough to come and open it? It's a brave thing to do, so I will not judge her. I will not abuse her. In fact, I'd rather clap for her because, wow.
She's doing her thing, right?
She's doing her thing and she's proud doing her thing.
All right, Mom, can you be called, or would you allow yourself to be called a feminist?
No, I'm not a feminist.
Right, okay. And what's your take on feminism?
I don't have a take on feminism. It's a very huge movement. It's a huge idea, and there are different aspects of feminism. There are different thoughts. There are different meanings of feminism for different people. In fact, you can call 50 women in here now, and men too, because there are quite a lot of feminist men too. And they will all give you 50 different definitions of feminism. So it's not, I don't have anything against feminists or the feminist movement. But I am not feminist simply because I do not approach issues from a woman point of view. I am not the kind of person that when there's a problem, I come in there and I'm feeling, oh, this side is disadvantaged, come from that side and start helping them first. I don't think like that. If I see a problem, the first thing I'm thinking about is, oh, what are all the issues involved? Sometimes the men are the disadvantaged ones, sometimes the boys, the children are the disadvantaged ones, sometimes the women are the disadvantaged ones. It's fine for me because it doesn't come from the point of view of, I am a woman and I need to fight more for the women or mostly for the women or from the angle of the women. I don't do things that way. I really go, we are all human beings. We all have equal rights in the presence of the law. And we need to tackle issues from a really equal point of view. Feminists don't really do that. Feminists generally look at things from balancing rights in favor of the women, or at least trying to get the women to become at par. So there's an angle they usually come with, and sometimes it may not necessarily be correct for that particular issue. So for me, I don't even want to be identified as feminist. I don't want to tell my mind, you need to think in terms of what's going to favor the women first. You need to think in terms of how it is badly, how the women are so badly disadvantaged and all that. It is important. Don't get me wrong, but I am not programmed to work that way. I'm programmed to go from a very neutral point of view and then start bringing in solutions, ideas, or suggestions about the way forward. I'm not feminist. I know for sure I'm not feminist.
Okay, you know what? For me, I think feminism is all about like advocacy for equality. Especially for women.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay, you're saying you're right now.
I'm not saying right now I'll be sitting on the fence.
No, I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not saying I'm not a feminist.
I love my feminist friends. A lot of my family members, some of my best friends in the world are feminists. In fact, when this whole thing was the rave of the talk of the moment, so many of them wrote me, oh, Mama, you are messing up. You are more than feminist. You are the most feminist person we know. I'm like, no. Don't mistake my independence for feminism. I don't do things because I'm a woman. I do things because that's what I think is right. By law, by my morals, by my values. That's what drives me, not feminism. If I'm fighting for everybody equally. Not necessarily fighting with you just because you're a man and then ignoring because you're a woman and then ignoring the man because he's not my problem. No, if I come in here and you are misbehaving to my guy there, I'll beat you up if I can. If I can't beat you up, I'll call somebody that can beat you up. So because you're a woman, you now come out, no. Or you know his brother is messing around because he can't. I won't let him. Or my dad or my mom. Or like, I don't come from the point of view of being a woman. I truly come from the point of view of being a human being, and every human being deserves to be fought for.
Okay. I think we're getting it wrong somewhere. From my own part of view, I think we're getting it wrong in the sense that feminism should be advocacy for equality.
But not when we're taking it the extra length.
No. But I think most people like calling themselves feminists, they are getting it wrong.
Okay. I don't want to comment on that because as far as I'm concerned, nobody is getting it wrong. Everybody is getting it right. Just that everybody on different levels, different points of views, different ways of expression. Some I agree with, some I don't. But at the end of the day, who am I? Eunice is not a feminist, for sure.
Okay, Eunice is not a feminist. But can we say Eunice, like, she's actually enjoying England? Okay, that look one. Okay, can we say Eunice is enjoying the labor or outcome of feminism? in the sense that you coming out right now to say, okay, I'm aspiring, I want to be president in Nigeria as a first of its kind. Stand not like outcome of feminists like shouting.
Yeah, because the closest to presidency was actually in 2015, and this is 2018. So I think I get where she's coming from.
So
so
you shouting, women should lead, let women participate. That's the feminist. That's their own part. So can we say Eunice is not a feminist, but she's enjoying
the wings, right?
The only thing I am enjoying is the constitutional rights bestowed upon me as a Nigerian. And our constitution from day one always gave us equal rights with the men. I'm not enjoying any other rights. So no matter what you want to tell me about what you're doing and how much advocacy you're doing in your group, the bottom line is that the law took care of me from day one. Many of us don't even know that. Many of us listen to what the churches are telling us, what the mosques are telling us, what our dads are telling us, what our moms are telling us, what the traditional behavior and the conventions around us are. And then we are feeling so disadvantaged, believing that the system is against us. But the truth is the system, the laws in this country, they are so pro-feminist, pro-female, pro-women. Like, it is so, according to the laws, no difference between a man and a woman in Nigeria. Everything you see is a product of artificial infiltration by our people. Cultural behavior, religious behavior, the patriarchal system that we have adopted for like centuries. But in fighting to be recognized and for those rights to be implemented, I don't need to do it from a feminist point of view. Look at me, I'm here now. I'm always negotiating with all these top flight politicians and owners and chairmen of political parties. I don't go there from I'm a feminist point of view. No, I go there from a point of view like, Oga, as you get your own party where they represent. Now, so me say get my own party where they represent. For here now, you and I we are equal. So calm down and let's talk. Do you understand? If I go there as a feminist, nobody will listen to me because they'll be wondering what's wrong with this person. Do you understand? Okay. But they see that, look, I know my rights. I know where the law protects me. I know how the law protects me. I don't need to be feminist to get anything done. I can get everything done by just following what the law says. And they're beginning to recognize it, and they're beginning to appreciate it, and they're beginning to listen.
All right, so taking a bit further, let's talk about personal issues.
Okay.
I know this is quite interesting because I'm a lady, you know, getting to that point. But quickly, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
Girls Closet.
Okay, welcome back. This is still Girls Closet, and we have our distinguished guest still with us, all looking shiny and then, you know, way up lady. All right, so the next question should be looking at this picture, right? A 39-year-old. I don't know if it's really a woman or a lady because I'm confused. At this point, I'm confused. Then, see, you don't want to mess with her because unless she has a black belt in Taekwondo.
Absolutely.
Please, tell us something about that. Have you been able to keep this body? And then the kids, the 5 kids.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you really have to tell yourself what's important to you and then you work for it. I've always wanted or liked being pretty. So when the baby making parts of my life kind of like made me look so much different from what I like to look like. So in terms of looks, I've always been interested in what I look like. So I take particular care to not be overweight, for example. But then you can't help it when you're having children. You definitely have to eat to nourish the kids in your tummy and wherever. And then after you have the babies, you need time to recover. So in that time, you actually add a lot of weight, at least for most women. Some women don't, but most women do. And of course I did. I was even 102 kg. And I don't want to look that way. I don't want to look at myself and not like what I see in the mirror. So I had to do what I had to do. Go online and research on the fastest ways to lose weight and still be healthy, and then get in the gym. I go to the gym like every morning from 5:30 a.m. till like 7. Even when I travel, I have like personal trainers that meet up with me in law school every morning. You know, you just do something every day, and then before you know it, a lot of that fat is leaving your body and you like what you see about yourself a lot more. So it's basically really all about discipline and really going for it, because you want to see a different body from that body that had to deal with childbearing. And it has worked for me. When I look in the mirror, I do like what I see and I try to maintain it. I eat a lot, but because I eat a lot, I work out a lot too, so as to balance things. So that's basically it for me. Just be disciplined and take like active interest in what you look like, your health status also, because it's just not about looking good, it's also about being healthy. Because if you are exercising often, you are building up your muscles, you are like coordinating the water flow in your body, so you are healthier, you glow better, you don't even need all this plenty cream and makeup. I've had to do a lot of that lately, but okay. It's all part of it, really.
All right. We were talking about Nollywood during the break. So are you looking at having anything to do with that?
Definitely, definitely. I'll definitely invest a lot in the entertainment business. I didn't just do Nollywood. I also did a lot of promotion for artists, you know, like people like the band P Square and all of them when they were first coming out. I did a lot of promotions, took some abroad for shows and things like that. So I definitely will invest in the entertainment industry personally, and it will be one of the policies I'll drive in government to make sure that the entertainment industry is developed properly, so that our people and our young Nigerians who have the talent can actually get in there and develop our culture and also develop our economy through entertainment. It's a really, really, really useful industry, and it deserves a lot more attention than it's getting.
Okay. Yola?
Okay, Mama. What's your take on defecting tactics, which are now becoming a trend?
My dear, what will I say? What will I say? No, what will I say? You know that basically APC, PDP, they are basically the same people, just changing names according to where the interests lie.
What I said.
So when the interest is not favoring them anymore, one they move to the other.
And
then they are just, it's party. In fact, there's no need to call them APC, PDP. It's party A, party B, one and the same. And then according to interest, when this person wants to be governor and they are not giving him ticket, he just moves to the other one. And the moment this one starts to, you just go back. So like that. That's what they are. And it's sad, but that's where we are at. Like I always tell people, our democracy is still developing. So these are the kind of people we put in to go for us first. Hopefully Nigerians will stop thinking that it's got to be them all the time and start giving more reasonable, more proper people with integrity, the opportunity to get to the front. The only issue I have is sometimes we are out here, we don't have the experience, we don't have the knowledge, and we think we're going to do well. And then you get in there and you see that these people that you're even bringing in are even worse than those ones that were there before. So you never really know, but you can take a chance. At least Nigerians have to start taking a chance on the new people and hope that it would yield dividends. That's my own take on that. The tactics, horrible as it is, that's what we have. It's a budding democracy. It's still better than anything, military rule or whatever. But my own is, let's start looking outside of these people and start looking more at the fresh faces, fresh ideas. At least when we look at their backgrounds, we should be able to say, okay, these ones look like they will do a good job for this country. Let's give them the opportunity. Let's not worry so much about the parties they are running under, but about the people that are offering themselves and what they're telling us they can do or they will do for us once they get power from us.
Okay, fine.
I think, have you chosen, or do you have any proposed running mates, like?
No, not yet.
President?
Not yet. I haven't picked a running mate. Not yet.
Okay, secondly, from your profile, we heard that you've been to over 70 countries.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know, how many years have you spent in Nigeria here? And how many years have you spent outside Nigeria? Because trust Nigerians, they will tell you, this woman, she has not been in the country. How does she know the affairs of the country? How does she know what's going on in the country? So I'd like to say to them now, how many years have you spent in Nigeria? How familiar are you with the affairs of the country, the state and all that? Then how many years did you spend outside? Because like be a plus for you. You've seen how things are being done outside Nigeria, so it's a plus for you. So you're telling them now.
All right. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of us here put together. I have stayed in Nigeria more than all of you put together. Do you understand? Born and brought up in this Nigeria. All my businesses are Nigeria-centric. My first degree was in UI. Me, I grew up, not just Nigeria, I grew up in the, I don't even know whether slum or ghetto or whatever. I don't know which one to call you now. Iwaya. Iwaya is like when it rains, water will fill that, it will fill our parlor, and we will be swimming inside with all the big shit that will come from it. We will be swimming inside, and I actually learned to swim in my father's living room. That's the kind of Niger girl I am. I'm that kind of Niger girl that is horribly ghetto. like from the bottom. So if it is in terms of understanding what the everyday person is going through in Nigeria, you can't have somebody better than me to represent them. If it is in terms of actually understanding how badly disadvantaged we are as women, there's nobody, because now they don't beat pass. Ah, God Almighty, you would come there, you have flawed everybody in terms of your qualifications. You're not getting the job because you're a woman or because you refuse to come to room 204 in Hilton. So, in terms of this country and what it does to people, how many businesses have I brought? How many foreign investors have I brought to this country? Brought good deals. And then one governor will sit down somewhere and tell you, lie, he's not going through unless you give me $10 million. That's what he's telling the foreign investor. And in my case, he's giving me room key to Senator Suits in Ambassador Hotel. And I'm like, is that how it is? Of course, that's how it is. So in terms of understanding how it works, in terms of understanding the issues in this country, 4 of you say 5, 3 of you are too small. Gather all the leaders, gather them, multiply by 1 million, and then remove shots.
Okay, understand.
Your question has brought trouble to the subject.
No, I'm thoroughly involved with Nigeria. Thoroughly. I have traveled a lot. Okay, tonight now I'm going to be in London. 2 days from now I have an interview in Abuja. So I'll be back again after 2 days. Next week I'll be in New York. But after 4 days, I'm coming back to an interview here in Lagos. So you have to always balance it in such a way that your life, your children, your work, your studies, and everything is working. And I think that's actually another additional skill I have. I can balance up to 50 different things and everything works smoothly. Just because I can time everything, plan it. Okay, now this 1, 2, 3, 4 are complementary. These ones are against. So leave these ones on this side, leave these ones, and do all 5 at the same time. You just have to plan it. Okay, I have 5 hours. What can I achieve in these 5 hours? How can I best use these 5 hours to make sure that 5 things are working perfectly? And then you do that. It's a great skill to have. It's a great talent to have. And I thank God that I do have that.
Okay, of course, it's fantastic to hear that. And you know, Nigerians definitely are speaking the mind of Nigerians.
I understand. I understand.
This is not
Absolutely.
from
I understand.
After all, your name should be Nigeria.
No, it's useful because I do get these attacks on social media. This one we don't work out these countries. You go just they work out like Buhari, we no go see and like I don't understand. You actually need to be doing all those work out because especially somebody like me, I speak their language, they understand that I understand them, they know they can't cheat us. So if they're coming to the table, they're coming with their sense and they are understanding that we are coming with our sense too. So as they are proposing what they are proposing, we are telling them, car doesn't work. This one, so as we are signing for Nigeria, not against Nigeria. That's what we need. We don't need people that have no idea, that only fly abroad to go to hospital and spend more of our money. We need people that fly abroad and they know exactly how to bring those abroad people to respect us and give us deals that favor us, not deals that punish us.
Okay, back to my question. You know, you said it all from the very beginning. I'm bringing this part where Nigerians, they will ask you, she's a woman. Although you don't believe in feminism, but the 10 year they will ask you, okay, she said she has settled this, she has settled that, she has settled this and that. What about her home? Yes, like how is she able to cope? The fact that even now election is fast approaching, you have to go to this, go to that. How supportive is your family to that?
I wish all the women who aspire to positions of power or leadership can have the kind of support system I have. Like my husband doesn't trouble me. I just literally tell him, Daddy, I'm bye-bye. My children, oh my God. Even little Mia wakes up, she comes down to me, the first thing she says to me is NIP, and I'll scream in Nigeria for all. And then she'll say Nigeria for all, and I'll say NIP. Say, yes, Mama, I'm proud of you. She's just 4. What I do though is I carry them along. There's nobody that is too small around me, not just in my family, but in my workforce. Nobody is too small, nobody is stupid, nobody knows it all. We are all learning from each other. I have an idea, you have yours. Put yours on the table, I put mine. Sometimes I'm wrong. In fact, most times I'm wrong. But because I have a team that is committed, we always get the right mix of everything. And it's the same in my family. Everybody have what they think is what they need. We put it on the table. Okay, you want this, I want that. it doesn't really work. How do we find a solution? My oldest son, he's the most amazing human being on earth. He literally helps me with everything, bathing the kids, even feeding them now. Sometimes I used to do all the cooking, but nowadays he tells me, Mom, I have learned to cook. Stop, though I can do it. And then he actually does it. So he even cooks better than me now. So I'm like, oh my God, I really can do whatever I need to do, because I have the best support system, and I think it's what we put in that we get back. So our women who need to do things more in the public space, in leadership space, get your home together. Make sure that you put the right team together for your home front. If you have your home front intact, you're good. Nothing, you won't shake. No matter what they throw at you, you know that you're okay, because at home, everything is fine.
No, we can hear hand. Like,
okay, no more shaking of this table. We don't.
Ah, no, you can shake the table. Yeah, I like to rock table. Shake it, man.
There is this issue that has become the order of the day,
yes.
and that's the issue of housewives stabbing their husband to death. While some of them said they claim they did it as a sign of self-defense or something. What do you think they actually do it out of self-defense, or what's your take on domestic violence?
My take on domestic violence is, wow, it's a real issue. I am a victim of domestic violence, both in terms of emotional violence and in terms of physical violence. And a lot of times, I'm still married to the same man though, like even with all the beating up and everything, we still settle it. Not because I'm afraid to leave, but because I always have to look at all the advantages and disadvantages of being in that marriage. And then I always have to come to the place where I think, okay, it's better for me to be there than to be outside. Not just because I love my husband, but also because I love my family and I feel more complete as a woman knowing that my home front is together. So I don't need money from my husband, so I can leave any moment and it's not a problem. But there's a lot of other things that comes into your relationship. Every marriage is unique. So we have to always look at what is it in that relationship that is favoring us, and what is it in that relationship that is against us, and then weigh it. And the one that has the most weight is the one you stay with. If your marriage favors you, stay in it and work it out and find a way to live together, but not the type that you get dead. If your husband beats you once, you forgive. Okay, he beats you a second time, you forgive. By the third time, pack and go.
okay.
Don't come back.
I was about to say that because of you losing your life.
No, you don't take that risk. And if the man calls, my husband came begging, and I thought, he was telling me how he took therapy, how he went to 3 weeks, this, that, and those were active efforts he put in to solve that problem for himself. After 2 years, I thought, okay, no, if he has really recovered or discovered that this is not the way to be, and he has treated himself, because I do think it's an illness.
Yes.
He has treated himself. You have this beautiful family. Why don't you give it another chance and see if it may work out? But because he has taken active steps to treat the problem, because I do believe it's an illness, it's worth it. At least it was worth it for me to reconsider and try again. And then he has never raised his hands on me ever since. So it's turning out to be a good decision I made to take a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance after he got the treatment that he needed. So sometimes the answer is not to pack up and go, but you do need to be careful to stay alive. Because if you see that this person, he beats you the first time, he begs you, he cries, and then he doesn't do anything about his illness. He beats you a second time, you beg you, he cries, you forgive him. Third time, fourth time, bow. No, you gotta go, because you're going to die. Same also with the men. If you are married to a woman who is so temperamental or so jealous that every time she sees you with a woman, she's raising tantrums and misbehaving, and then you come home, she refuses to give you food or whatever, and then it doesn't come by the first day they attack you, they stab you and kill you. No. There will be signs. There will be signs. She would have slapped you. She would have broken a bottle. She would have pushed the chair. She would have smashed things in the house. She may have even threatened you with a knife once or twice. Before she actually stabs you, you would have seen all the signs you needed to see. Yes. And if you look at the history, most times you have the men calling family. This woman has started again, or she has brought her knife again. Yes. She brought the knife the first time you called family, it didn't help. The second time you called church, it didn't help. Pastor came and advised you, it didn't help. And you still sat down there until she kukuma tear your intestine. So it's being smart about it, not just relying on your emotions, but also being wise about the decisions you're making and the reasons you're staying in the relationship. Most times for the women, they are dependent on the men. They don't know where to go to. They can't feed. The kids will be hungry. They don't have a job. They've never worked. They left their careers to build a family. So they are they expect to be destitute if the men leave them or if they leave the men. So they stay there until they get killed. Is it worth it? My answer is no. But the first thing we need to do as people, men and women, nowadays, more men depend on women than women depend on men in Nigeria. Yes. What we need to do for ourselves is develop ourselves. Get your independence, even if it is your small business you be doing. Make sure you are content with the little you are getting. Build on that until you can build something big. And even if you don't end up building something big, be okay with the little you are building. Nobody can mess with you in that situation. I have lived on little more than nothing. But you can't mess with me because I'm very content with my little. I won't look at your big clothes and big shoes and everything. It don't concern me now because that guy where they chop every day, they telephone me. Do you understand? But then I know that as long as I keep working at it, I'm going to develop it into something big. And it's already happening. Do you understand? So a lot of us are too impatient. We have opportunities to be hairdressers, to be tailors, to be beads makers, to be sweepers, to be nannies, or whatever we can do. And we can do those things with passion and get the little we can get and live within that little we have. But instead of doing that, we'll be looking at the ones that are driving Bentleys and the ones that are showing off all their Versaces and Valentinos. And then you'll be thinking of what to do quickly to get there. That's where 90% of the problem starts. So you're not going to marry one guy. Maybe 419 guy, maybe Yahoo boy or something, and then he's not giving you, but he's slapping you in addition. But you can't go away anymore because now you're wearing Valentino and you're doing whatever. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's a lot of internal struggle that we have to clarify for ourselves and make the choices that have the long-term benefits.
So let me ask you: are you a product of the Not Too Young to Run campaign?
I am a product of the Not Too Young to Run campaign. I didn't even support the bill because I didn't have any plans per se, but I'm grateful the bill came when it did. The law was assented to when it did because now I can confidently run for the position of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria instead of waiting another 4 years or longer. So it's a great thing that the people who pushed for it and saw the Not Too Young to Run law come to be.
Okay, finally, how do you intend to achieve your aim without this Godfatherism issue? You need like
my dear man, don't lie to you. Godfatherism, godmotherism may be necessary and I will not refuse it. The only thing I will do is to refuse a godfather or a godmother whose ideologies clash with mine. Because politics is not something you do alone. You need powerful people. But you do not go to bed with everybody. If you do, you're going to be confused. Everybody will be blowing you different winds and you won't know what to do. But if you pick the people you are working with and then you raise your funds from a particular group whose interests align with yours, you're good to go. You won't have problems making decisions because at the end of the day, every decision you're making will be in line with whatever they would like you to be doing. So you're fine. We have the problem of jumping up and down in Nigeria because people just collect from there, collect from there, collect from there. And then everybody you're collecting from is investing in your government. They want dividends from your government. And if somebody is extremely socialist and you are liberal and you collect money from that person, when you get to government, you're going to be in trouble because he invested in your government. He wants you to move policies that are socialist in nature, and you are trying to do liberal policy. You will be clashing.
They're just eating the name. That's the issue. Like I said it actually then that some people they have a good intention. They have good intentions, but the people they are surrounded by.
If you have to surround yourself with the people with whom you fundamentally agree. If you do that,
Alright, at this point we have to say thank you to our distinguished guest. Thank you so much for coming on the show, right?
Thank you.
Exactly.
Flip TV is, whoa, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Alright, to everybody in the studio today, thank you. And to our viewers, thank you so much. Our editors, we didn't forget you, don't worry. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. For sponsorship and product placement, don't forget to call the numbers on your screen. Alright, for me and the ladies and our distinguished guests, it's bye for now, right?